She was just cleaning the last room on her shift when she heard faint cries. She followed the sound to an empty suite and found a baby alone on the floor, wrapped in a towel. What she did next wasn't part of her job, but it changed everything. Maria Bennett had worked at the hotel for 9 years. She was invisible to most guests, just the quiet maid with tired eyes, rubber gloves, and a cleaning cart that squeaked every few steps. But Maria didn't mind. She came in early, stayed late, and sent every dollar she could back home to her daughter in Texas. That day had been long. A wedding party had checked out, leaving behind a trail of glitter, half-eaten cake, and chaos. Suite 709 was supposed to be empty. She had just finished folding the last towel when she heard it. A soft cry. Not from the hallway, not from another room, from inside the suite. Maria froze. She followed the sound, heart thudding, and opened the bedroom door slowly. There, on the carpet, was a baby, no older than 8 months, red-faced, eyes swollen from crying, wrapped only in a damp hotel towel. She looked around. No crib. No note. No parent. Nothing. Maria rushed over, scooped up the child, and whispered, "Shh, it's okay, baby. I got you now." But what she didn't know was, this baby wasn't lost. He had been left. Maria held the baby close, gently rocking him as his cries began to soften. His little fingers gripped her shirt tightly, as if begging not to be left again. Her mind raced. Who could do this? Who would walk away from a child like this? She reached for the hotel phone and called the front desk. "This is Maria from 709, she said, her voice shaking. "There's a baby here, alone." Minutes later, security arrived. The manager rushed in behind them, confused, frantic. "This room was supposed to be vacant," he stammered. "It wasn't," Maria said firmly, still holding the baby. "And he's been crying for a long time." They checked the guest log. The room had been booked under a fake name. The credit card? Declined. Surveillance footage showed a woman entering the hotel with the baby the night before, but leaving alone just after dawn. Maria didn't let go of the baby, not even when the police arrived. She cradled him as they asked questions, as caseworkers came, as the story unfolded in pieces. "He needs someone," one officer told her gently. "We'll take him into custody for now." Maria hesitated, looking down at the baby, now fast asleep against her chest. "I'll go with him," she said, "at least until he's safe." The officer looked surprised. "You don't have to do that, ma'am." She looked him in the eye. "I know, but I want to." And that's how a hotel maid ended her shift that day, riding in the back of a police cruiser, holding a baby who had no name, no family, and no one else in the world. Except her. At the Child Services office, fluorescent lights buzzed softly overhead as Maria filled out forms she'd never imagined touching. Temporary guardian. Emergency contact. Sign here. Initial there. The social worker, a kind woman named Grace, looked up from the file. Most people would have just called it in and walked away. Maria held the sleeping baby tighter. Most people didn't see his face. They placed him in a temporary crib in the visiting room while Grace stepped out to contact the state. Maria sat nearby, watching the baby stir in his sleep, his tiny fingers twitching like he was still searching for someone to hold on to. When Grace returned, she sighed. "We've got no name, no ID, no medical record, and no one has come forward. We'll place him in foster care for now, unless you'd consider—" Maria didn't let her finish. "I'll take him," she said firmly. Grace blinked. "Are you sure?" "It's a huge commitment," Maria nodded. "I raised my own daughter with a mop in one hand and faith in the other. I can do it again." With emergency papers signed and a temporary placement granted, Maria carried the baby, now named Noah by her suggestion, home to her small apartment. It wasn't much. One bedroom, a worn-out couch, faded curtains. But it was safe. It was warm. It was home. That night, Noah slept in a makeshift crib made of laundry baskets and blankets, and Maria sat nearby, quietly humming lullabies she hadn't sung in years. She didn't know what tomorrow would bring. But one thing was certain. She wasn't letting him go. Weeks turned into months. Maria balanced early morning shifts with bottle feedings, late-night laundry runs with diaper changes. Her co-workers pitched in. One brought a stroller, another gave baby clothes her nephew had outgrown. Even the hotel manager, usually cold and distracted, gave her a quiet raise with no explanation. Noah grew fast, chubby cheeks, big brown eyes, and a laugh that made even Maria's hardest days worth it. The state launched a full investigation into who left him behind. But no one ever came. No claims, no family, nothing. And then one day, a letter arrived. You're being considered for permanent adoption of the minor child currently under your care. Maria stared at the words for a long time. Tears slipped down her cheeks. Not out of fear, but out of a deep, quiet joy. She'd already become his mother in every way that mattered. Now, it could be real. At the courthouse, dressed in her best church clothes, Maria held Noah's hand as they stood before the judge. Do you understand the responsibility you're taking on? The judge asked gently. Maria looked down at Noah, now almost 2 years old, his small hand wrapped tightly around her finger. Yes, Your Honor, she said, voice steady. He saved me too. With a final signature and a small, warm smile from the judge, it was done. Maria Bennett, the hotel maid no one noticed, was now officially Maria Bennett, mother of Noah Bennett. She returned to work the next day like always. But this time, there was a framed photo of Noah on her cleaning cart, taped next to her sanitizer bottle and folded towels. And anyone who asked about it? She'd smile proudly and say, "That's my son." Because sometimes family isn't found by blood. It's found in a quiet room, when someone chooses not to walk away. Share this story if you believe in unexpected beginnings and the kind of love that stays